taurine, you're going to prevent magnesium from being saturated to the cells too. So taking magnesium taurate, it does work. Probably it would be best to do it after you actually fix the issue and after you saturate your cells, then you can actually go on that maintenance dosage. But to start from the beginning with it, the amount they give is way too low, way too low. So you'll probably have to take like almost a couple capsules to get the equivalent of taking a straight powder of taurine. And of course, the magnesium is never going to be enough because magnesium ionic chloride does have the highest level of absorption rate compared to any other magnesium out there for the elemental part of it. So that's the only reason I recommend it. I don't just recommend it just because it's there and it's easy for everybody to buy or has the cheapest price. It's the only one that can actually saturate at the cellular level, compare across all the other magnesium levels out there. Then once you saturate, you can always go back to like something as a combination. Duke, what's going on? Oh, you lost your ball? I can't get it there. I'll lose connection. Unless you've seen something that you're stopped. What do you see? A coyote or something? They probably are watching us. They've been quite a bit actually this morning. You can actually hear them, and we had a lot of deers actually. Every time it gets wet and rainy and a little bit cooler, we actually end up getting a lot of wild animals come down, or they get pretty close to us here. So I just gotta keep an eye on them. Because there was some this morning about 4 a.m. They came out. They were yapping in the morning, early morning, and he was going nuts inside. There we go. Magnesium ionic chloride, add taurine on its own or mix it. You can mix it with it. You can mix it with it. Better than rain than fire. Oh, 100%, 100%. Because when we get fires, it gets very, very smoky and it's very, very hard to breathe. So 100%. I'll take rain anytime. Hello, my trace minerals are on the way. Awesome, Alberto. Once you get it, let me know, and definitely get started on these proper doses, which is ideal to kind of get started ASAP. Which magnesium best for high blood pressure? Abdul, you have to start with magnesium ionic chloride. I did write a book on how to reverse high blood pressure. If you're able to actually download it, it's gonna give you the full-blown information, step by step, the guide, the blood work, the type of magnesium, type of taurine, how to mix it, everything is in it. It's only roughly like I think $12 compared to what I used to sell it at full price. My brother has food poisoning with his stomach pain. Anything help? The only thing is you can do is to speed it up is shark oil and lots of water. Shark oil, but usually whenever there's food poisoning, we recommend about 8 grams, which is 8,000 milligrams of shark oil. The problem is taking that much, sometimes it does cause a little bit of constipation, but yet it's better than having, the poison. Where can pure DHA be found? Only cod liver oil? No, not only cod liver oil. When you go pure DHA, now you can get it from anchovies or sardines, and it's actually not going to oxidize at all. I get pure DHA as well, where it has about, I think it's roughly about 92% DHA, only at about 8% EPA. Oops. Now mosquitoes are coming out. Hello, brother Maurice and friends. It's okay to eat kale every day? No, I don't recommend eating kale. Kale is a very high anti-nutrient effect, high in oxalates. I probably not recommend it because it's going to actually destroy your thyroid. You're going to become under active thyroid issues. Maybe if you want to have it once a week is fine, but not daily. Not daily at all. And make sure you're not eating it raw. You make sure you actually cook it really well. Can't keep water down. What do you mean can't keep water down? I've been taking lion's mane in the morning, 30 minutes before eating. Thoughts? Lion's mane is mostly for cognition, relaxation. It's good to actually increase the BDNF as well too. But yeah, if you take it in the morning and you feel great, definitely go for it. Stick to it as well if you enjoy it. Love from Montreal and respect. You're amazing. Cheers. Thanks so much. Love from BC all the way to Montreal to you. With food poisoning. Oh, with food poisoning can have water in. As long as you're able to get a couple shark oils in would be ideal. That's the only thing. Whenever you're actually food poisoning, technically your body does not want to accept anything at all. What do you think of weight loss medications, pros and cons? I would never use any weight loss medication due to their nasty side effects. And whatever you lose, you're gonna probably gain it because it's not natural. It's better if you actually just shift your carbohydrates and add some natural supplements. Would be the best thing to do. Um, Lion's mane helps me with inflammation. It does. It does calm the body. It's not so much that it'll help with inflammation. It does calm the body. It kind of puts you into a relaxation stage. The same thing that L-theanine does, or hesperidine, or GABA, for example. So they actually work in a very similar thing. Ozempic is terrible. It could actually cause kidney damage as well. You guys gotta be careful how much you use. Where are you from? I'm in British Columbia right now, in Canada. Just eat all meat and give this guy money, and you'll be healthy. Well, eating all meat is good. Or eating all meat is good, 100%, because it's what's mostly bioavailable for the body. It's not good for certain individual on a long term, but I've been doing it for 10 plus years. You can definitely give it a shot. You can actually definitely cleanse your system, and you can actually fix your system correctly. Do you sell? I don't sell lion's mane. I don't. I've tried it. Didn't really like it. Didn't really work good for me. It doesn't work for everybody. I was actually using one of the form from Australia. Actually, was good. Hey, Lexi, how are you? Do you believe in Christ? Well, I'm wearing a cross, right? So obviously, I do. Kevin. Um, Guys, sometimes some of the comments are being disabled. Probably the way you've been wording the questions, so maybe just rewrite it. Duke! Duke is having way too much fun. Guys, and Mama Angel, I don't sell any supplement. I don't carry any supplements. I don't sell any supplement. The only reason I have these supplements on my website is because every time I do a video, a lot of you guys been asking me, well, what kind should I use and stuff, and I have just an iHerb link for the ones I use. So if you guys want to get the same forms, you can always get them. That looks like living. It's a beautiful place. Check out the view we have here. I'm trying to finish my little tiny house back there. Today I was working inside, doing spray foaming all over the edges, because tomorrow I'm gonna insulate the whole place. And I just had to rip the bottom and actually finish a few things. With gabapentin, what for inflammation? Without gabapentin, what for inflammation? What would you recommend for cancer? My dad, lung. Tony, go ahead and download my cheat book. That does have a proper protocol for lung recovery or reversal. That's awesome. Without gabapentin, what for if you want for inflammation, I probably would use one of the best things for inflammation would be if you can get resveratrol with MCT. No, that's the one I take. I get it from. It's a nano form. It's only one right now available in the market that is nano form. It comes from Australia. It's the same company that does NMN and does berberine, but they're using a nano form with MCT for better absorption. Women with less iron, what would you suggest? Eat steak. Steak will give you your natural iron. Plus, if you take vitamin C with it. Did you try the lung machine and did it work? I tried it yesterday. I haven't had a chance to try it more. Yeah, it does actually opens up the capacity of your lungs and the breathing as well too. I'm gonna actually do it for at least a week, and this way I can kind of relate back to you guys and let you guys know what I think of it. It's only a few dollars. It's very cheap, but it's a nice little design actually. Is carbonated water any good for the body? Carbonated water, if you're gonna drink it, don't drink it with meals because it's gonna interrupt your digestive juices. Let me see it, please. I don't have it with me right now. Alberto is inside. Once I go inside, I'll let you see it. What about manganese supplement, please? If you're gonna take manganese, you can take 10 milligrams. Don't take more than that. It's good for the heart. If you overtake too much, it's gonna actually cause a deficiency in your biotin. Diabetes, you can take berberine. You can shift your carbohydrates. You can reduce your simple carbohydrates, add a little bit more fiber. Most of the time, it is within your diet. Guys, if you get a chance to download my heart arrhythmia protocol ebook, would be great. Whoever is having issues with irregular heartbeat, tachycardia, whoever is having issues with AFib, anything like that, I did create the protocol for you guys. You can have it on hand. I've been taking lion's mane to help lower cholesterol. lion's mane reduces oxidative stress. So it's not so much about reducing cholesterol, Janelle, it's pretty much of preventing cholesterol from oxidizing, which is really good to have. It's the same thing as, the only reason I take L-theanine or niacin. Niacin will actually reduce it, but it does prevent from oxidizing the cholesterol. What do you think of Repatha? I think it's a waste of money. It's a needle they actually put on your thigh to actually lower your cholesterol. Why do you want to lower your cholesterol? Your cholesterol has nothing to do with heart disease. What's causing heart disease is inflammation. Even if you have high cholesterol, it doesn't mean anything. Only unless it's being oxidized. The question is, why is it being oxidized? What the hell you're eating that is being oxidized? So I would never go on Repatha. Even if you have hypercholesterolemia. You're just lowering LDL, but you're not really going after the main root cause. Guys, give me a second. I'm gonna switch the camera towards Duke because I can't take the phone with me up there. I have to go get the ball for him because he lost it in the water. So give me a second. I think you guys can see. I'm just gonna go up there. Give me a minute. Stop putting it in the water, Duke. Guys, thanks so much for tapping the screen and all the likes, and you guys on YouTube as well. Now I have the access where you guys can give me super likes and all that as well too, which is awesome. Let's go inside and we can play with Duke a bit. We don't keep going in the water. Give me a second, guys. Just gotta close the gate. Thank you so much. God bless you. Amazing work and infos. Thanks so much for the support, as always. There we go. Go play, Duke. There you go. Guys, let's pick a subject, and anything you guys want to talk about in specific, I can dig a little bit more deeper into every single question for you guys. Cindy, thank you so much for the bracelet. Thank you for the gift. Cheers. Guys, let's tap the screen. We'll give some support to Duke. Come on. You want to play? Come on. He's enjoying the weather. It's been raining. He's been inside the whole time waiting for the sun to come out. Finally, it's actually looking nice. Hopefully it stays like that. How do I get my muscle tone back after losing from Monjaro? One of the best option is to add two things to your diet. I would add leucine because it does enhances or increases your protein synthesis. And I would add HMB only if you're over the age of 45. HMB, you can take roughly about 1 gram 3 times a day with meals. And what it does, it prevents muscle breakdown, especially for a lot of older people because they tend to kind of sometimes lose muscle mass. It prevents that. But as well, if you do train, after your training, I would go 3 grams of leucine, 5 grams of D-ribose, 5 grams of creatine, and of course, at least 10 grams to 15 grams of collagen type 1 and type 3. I would never use any type of whey protein because they're actually not that great for the system. Instead, I would use collagen because a lot of us are missing collagen, and you're probably eating enough protein from your diet. Hi, high blood pressure. High blood pressure. What would you like to know about high blood pressure? I've written numerous books, and I do have an ebook out on high blood pressure, how to cure it, and it does actually walk you through specifics. And the nice thing is with the blood pressure, it tells you what blood test to get, how to wean off medications, and it's just a protocol that you can actually follow, and it's guaranteed that I guarantee you that I'm actually going to be able to reverse your blood pressure with no issues. It's that simple, and it's just few nutrients. As soon as you saturate your cells correctly, you can actually get off of them. brain tumor, anything to do with brain tumor, cancers, anything like that. I can't really talk about it here because I can get banned, but I did create a cheat book that has more than 100 different symptoms, and it does actually guide you on how to actually break down or remove some of the cancers from the body. Would be great to download it, but keep in mind, whoever downloads that version 1.1, they'll be getting version 1.2 and 1.3 or 1.4. Every time I create a future ebook or an update, you get it for free, and I'm always updating it. Is leucine a supplement? Leucine is an amino acid, and yes, it is a supplement, and you buy it in powder form. Can you post list of what you take and why? I'll do like a website, not a website, like a one-page Cindy, and I'll put everything I take, certain things I take daily, certain things I rotate, certain things I use for emergency, and I'll put everything on there so you guys can actually get an idea of why I take it and how I take it and what's the reason behind it and what's the benefit that I've seen over the years taking it as well too. If that would actually work, I'll probably do it that way and you guys can check it. I missed the arrhythmia. I get PVC off and on for a couple of weeks, then they go away. Stress, it's not related to stress at all. It's not related to stress at all. I did actually input that information in my ebook. The only reason I want to talk about arrhythmia because I've been getting a lot of requests, and finally I made an ebook on it, Mel. So if you get a chance to download my ebook, I know it's only a few dollars, but it's going to give you the history of arrhythmia, why it happens, how it occurs, and how it could be fixed. And the only reason you actually feel it some weeks and some weeks you don't is because certain foods you're eating is actually replenishing some of the missing nutrients, and when you actually miss out on some of these foods, it actually comes back. So read the book if you get a chance. It's only roughly about 30 some pages, but you can kind of skip through it because I put every single symptom of arrhythmia, and yours is PVC more than anything, palpitation, but you can actually check it out because there's different levels of arrhythmia. Sure, if you go on my website, if you could click on my profile picture in the top left corner, Mel, and when you go to that one main page, there is a website link. If you click on it, it's going to take you to my page where I have all the ebooks that I wrote, and I go in very, very detailed. How many supplements should take every day? It's not how many supplements should you take. It's all based on your lifestyle, the food you eat, and what nutrients or vitamins or minerals you're missing. Then you can add, and it's going to vary per person based on your goals. Prevent strokes. So what prevents strokes? So if you have the lipoprotein A, which is a hereditary, let's just assume it's not hereditary. If it is above 30, then it does increase your chances of actually having a stroke. So that would be an ideal blood test to actually check to see where you're at. And I just did a recent video about stroke. There's a new blood work you can actually get now, and you can actually predict whether you're actually prone to have a stroke or not. It's a new research that came out recently, and there's two type of blood work you can get. Collagen type or type 2. You have to get collagen type 1 and type 3. Because type 1 and type 3 is what actually helps with the joints, helps with the ligaments, help with actually methylating your methionine in the body, converting to methionine, helps as well with the muscle building and helps with the arterial system. That's the most important two factors you need. I always hear you talk about saturated. Can you explain? See, the problem is with a lot of the vitamins we take, we don't saturate it properly. So we always kind of look at the box, and the box says, take 1 capsule 3 times a day. But that level there is mostly for a healthy person and to actually maintain your levels. We don't want to maintain. We actually want to fix and heal. So there's a saturation level and there's mega dosing. So technically, I'll give you an example. So if you're taking vitamin C, it doesn't mean you take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, because vitamin C is actually lasts in your body for about 3 hours and it gets flushed out. Technically, you have to take your vitamin C every 3 hours, and that's how you actually saturate. Sorry, I missed a couple of questions. I'm not able to browse up. I have a ferritin of 8 and non-stop PVC in Bing and trim. Could this be because of my PVC? Ferritin has nothing to do with your PVC. It's when you have low ferritin, sometimes you're going to end up having 5 other nutrients that are actually you're deficient in, and that's the only reason you're experiencing. And a couple of to give you an idea, a couple of them is going to be like vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin B1. All these are missing in your diet. But if you download my ebook, you can actually see, and I went and fully explained how to actually fix the PVC issue. So the ebook is called Heart Arrhythmia Fix. So please download it. I'll teach you everything on there. It's getting cloudy again. Hey Sarah, how are you? Sarasen. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Got it. Hey Mister, any vegan supplements for parasite and good supplement for high triglyceride? Does it have to be a vegan supplement, or because some of the supplements are, keep in mind, they are synthetic, and 99% of the supplements are actually extracted from plant, right? You just gotta make sure you get the capsule that is actually made from vegan or anything like that. But anything for parasite, black walnut, cayenne, 90,000 heat units or higher, doing it on a proper ratio whenever there's a full moon, and that's when you want to actually destroy the bacteria. You can take mastic gum as well. You can take zeolite. There's like so many different supplements. How much sun do you recommend daily? At least a good 2 hours, but usually best time to get your sun is between 12 and 2 p.m. If you can get like a good 15 minutes shooting on your eyes and in your chest, that would be plenty enough. Your cheat handbook is sweet. Thanks, Blaine. I really appreciate that. I'm wait till you see the second version, and you guys will get the second version for free. Whoever downloaded the first version, I'm just been working hard at it, and it's gonna have everything, a lot more detailed info on how to use every single item. Duke, we're not going outside anymore, please. Friend has parasite in bladder, can get rid of it. Any particular? If it's in the bladder, you have to use D-Menos with mastic gum. Hi doctor, is palpitation caused by anxiety? Palpitation is caused by many things. Anxiety, stress, smoking, drinking, processed. And keep in mind, when you're stressed, you lose minerals. When you're depressed, you lose minerals. When you don't sleep, you lose minerals. So at the end of the day, it's the mineral content that you're losing. So Maria, if you go to my website and download the ebook on heart arrhythmia, that will actually give you the important information to fix palpitation. Zeolite is better than charcoal? Well, they're two different things. Charcoal is good. You can use it on the spot, especially if you get like food poisoning. And it does cleanse heavy metals in the long run. But if you want to cleanse heavy metals, I'd rather use zeolite because it does capture a lot of the inorganic materials. But I like to always have charcoal on the side for food poisoning. That's the only time I would use it. There was a research they were using about 12,000 milligrams to actually reduce cholesterol, mostly oxidized cholesterol, but taking that high of a dose sometimes it causes constipation. Your ebooks are a bargain. Cheers, Blaine. Thank you. I'm trying to actually maintain as much as I could, and hopefully I'd like to put, that's why I wanted to actually create the cheat book, but it was becoming ridiculously too big, where, you know, if I want to put something in there and go on specific, it's just that specific subject sometimes can take 10, 15 pages, and I'm trying to kind of make it very, very small. Who cannot use zeolite? Probably just to be on the safe side, you know, probably pregnant women should not use it. But it is 100% safe. The problem is, all it's doing is just capturing some of the inorganic materials. It's not really causing any harm or anything like that. There's no harm with it that is going to actually cause. How can we take care of thyroid health, best food, etc.? It's not so much your thyroid that sometimes we have issues. 80% is your gut. So 80% is the food you eat. 20% is your thyroid. So 80% is the food you consume, so it's based on your digestion. So if your digestion is not good and you're probably not breaking down the food correctly, now it's actually causing issues with your thyroid to be underactive. So it's not about what foods, it's mostly ignore anything that is man-made. As simple as that. Everything else is, if you can get it on whole food, organic, then, all the power to you. That's the best way to do it. But it's all based on the diet. And a lot of people that actually end up getting a lot of underactive thyroid is most of the people that actually do mostly ketogenic or low carb diet, or sometimes maybe carnivore as well too sometimes if they don't introduce certain carbs. So that's why certain individuals now, they try to introduce some fruits or seasonal fruits just so they can get a little bit of carbohydrates going. Hey, Miss Cosmo, how are you? How long to take to cleanse parasites? It depends. You have to do some testing to see whether it stays in your system or not. For example, H. pylori, we usually can kill it in 3 weeks. If it's taken more than 3 weeks, we do another cycle. Should I use leucine and HMB together? You could. Better to use leucine after training, and better to use HMB during the daytime, because leucine does cause a spike in insulin, which is good when you're actually working out, so you can actually help you recover. HMB does not cause a spike, but as well it continue promoting muscle growth without the insulin spike. So sometimes taking it during the daytime would be great. But keep in mind, some people feel a benefit from HMB, some don't. It is a very, very slow, it's not like a magic pill where you're gonna automatically put muscle on. It's gonna start to build in your system. My brother had to go to hospital for a kidney infection. He's on antibiotic, anything to help. Kidney infection. How did he get the kidney infection? That's kind of kidney infection. You gotta be something that is he's consuming that has caused that. What can help other than usually anything to do with kidneys? We do like a 5 or a 7 day fasting. Seriously, we do like a 5-7 day fasting so we can actually allow the kidney to go into a relaxation stage. You mentioned simple carbohydrates to reduce triglyceride. What are they? Anything simple. Anything simple. Anything simple could be from fructose, from too much fruits, to anything that is resistant starches, from carrots, sweet potatoes, grapes, watermelon. All these are actually simple carbs. How to raise cholesterol, HDL? Eat some good saturated fats and monounsaturated fats. It was very sudden. It's not whether it was very sudden, Miss Cosmo. Sometimes it's been happening over the years that I finally hit. Your views on nicotinic acid versus niacinamide for lowering LDL and helping arteries. Nicotinic acid and niacin and vitamin B3, they all actually lower your lipids. Niacinamide was meant to be more for metabolism of your fat, protein, and fat, protein, and carbs. Now, if they take niacinamide and they mix it with D-ribose, or they mix it with not mix it. Well, yeah, they mix it. So that's how you get NR, which is nicotinamide riboside, or they do like NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. So the niacinamide is mostly used for longevity, let's say, for metabolism, so on and so forth. The nicotinic acid, or niacin, or vitamin B3, that's what causes a flush, and that's how you're able to reduce and control. Not so much about reducing your cholesterol. It does reduce your cholesterol, your LDL, increases your HDL, does reduce your triglycerides, but it has the potential to actually reduce your lipoprotein small a, which is a genetic form of lipids, and it does actually prevent oxidization. So it's like a one vitamin that does all these amazing benefits compared to, let's say, statins, for example, where it doesn't do anything. I do keto, still HDL is only 39. It depends on the fast you're consuming. And the only reason you're doing keto and it's not going up, because possibly that you're probably getting too much vegetables in your diet that's actually converting to glucose, and glucose is actually conflicting with your HDL levels. Maurice, did you read the studies about creatine helping people with depression? Yeah, I've heard of it. I knew about that years ago, about creatine helping with depression, but the problem is it has to actually build up in your system. So the same way we actually use creatine so we can actually bulk it up in our body, where we use about 20 grams. I found when I was using it for depression, I had to consume close to about 30 grams a day for me to actually feel it. Some people have felt it at 15 grams. I had one individual, we did a test, and they felt it at 60 grams. So to me, taking that high of a dose, sometimes you could have a lot of waste. So I'd rather, for depression, use L-theanine. Works instantly for a fraction compared to creatine, which is 200 milligrams. But keep in mind, the only reason creatine works, and there's other products that actually work the same way, is because they boost up your mitochondria. So once you boost up your mitochondria now is going to actually start to fix your body. And anything's wrong with the body, let's say depression, is going to go after it and fix it. I always felt better in the head when I took it before I even knew about the study. Yeah, it's pretty awesome because it boosts up your mitochondria. Whenever you boost up your mitochondria, you're always going to be in a good mood. You're going to feeling great. You're going to have energy. You're not going to feel like sluggish or tired, or you have like this depression or stress or something is actually heavy on your head. None of that. Is CRP 3.07 1 month into carnivore any issues? It's not whether it's something going on, Blaine. So it could be that, so there's some type of inflammation happening. Technically, we like to have, I don't know if you're checking CRP or HSCRP, because technically in certain countries they say CRP under 5 is ideal or under 3 is ideal. But I don't like to check the CRP. I like to check the HSCRP, high sensitivity C-reactive protein, and it has to be under 1. So let's assume you have some inflammation. The only reason you have some inflammation, possibly, is because your body's converting from, let's say, your regular diet to a carnivorous diet. That's one issue. Another issue, sometimes the liver is having a hard time processing certain changes in the body. So most of the time, it's like electrolyte imbalances that causes your CRP to go up, and most of it is magnesium. Thoughts on food grade? You're talking about, I think, I'll give you some information. I can't really talk about it here. Last time I did, I got banned for 2 days. I can't really talk about it, but I'll send you some information if you want. What is the main, but it is good to use if you can get your hands on it. How's that, Tony? What's the main reason for taking creatine? Now, a lot of my heart patients, they use creatine. It's not so much for muscle building, but like I said, it's mostly to actually activate your ATP level, which is your mitochondria. Because whenever you have a heart disease or whenever you've had a heart attack, other than lifting weights and pushing and building muscle, ATP is what actually gives your heart the energy that it needs. Without it, you can't really survive. And once your mitochondria drops below 20, you will actually experience a heart attack. So mitochondria plays a crucial role in this. What do you consider high cholesterol? I consider high cholesterol if you're over 450. That's when I consider high cholesterol. And that's when I actually start to question things. Why is it going up that high? Obviously, it's been heavily used by the body because there's an issue in the system. Most of the issue is either blood flow or there's something wrong with the food you're consuming. Do you ever recommend coenzyme Q10, and if so, how much? If you're ever going to take coenzyme Q10, it has to be ubiquinol, and it has to be 300 milligrams minimum daily. Old diet was too much processed. Carnivore is much simpler and no cravings. 24 hours between feeding is fine with me. Oh, perfect, Blaine. Yeah, keep at it. Let me know how it goes. I've been on it. It's coming up 10 years and a couple months now, and it works really, really good. Just, maintain it, stick to it. I know sometimes it gets boring because all we do is just eat meat and eggs and cheeses. What else can you do? You can always add other things, different cuts of meat. So unfortunately, I don't have different cuts of meat here in off a grid, which just kind of sucks. Or if you go fishing or you enjoy hunting, so you can get a different, like maybe gamey flavor or other clean sources. 6 to 7 weeks now. That's awesome. Keep at it. Stay strong. It's worth it. And the changes in the body is amazing. Does fasting reset cholesterol? If anything, when you do fasting, you'll tend to see high levels of cholesterol. high level of cholesterol, your cholesterol actually goes up because now your cholesterol freely going through your system to actually fix things. Then after that, it balances after 7 days. Does my cholesterol is only 144? 144 is super freaking low. And usually whenever we see anybody below 200 in cholesterol, sometimes they end up having cognition issue or cognitive decline. So be careful of how low your cholesterol is. Certain individuals, I'm not saying you specifically, certain individuals experience that. Thoughts on intermittent fasting? Hey, I do intermittent fasting every day. I do between 18 to 22 hours every single day. Sometimes I eat one meal, sometimes I eat 2 meals. I've been doing that for the past probably 10 years now. And once every 6 months, I do a 5-day fast. But this June, I was supposed to actually start on it on June 1st, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm just extremely busy with finishing my tiny house, and I know I'm gonna end up losing a lot of muscle mass because I did it last year and I ended up losing about 20 pounds of muscle because I was putting so much effort in building the tiny house and I was not eating at all, so it kind of hit me pretty hard. So I don't think I'm gonna do it this June. What's the normal range of cholesterol? Well, hey, as long as below 400, you're fine. 450, you're fine. Sorry for the questions. Why do people get a bypass to do with cholesterol levels resulting in blockage? Cholesterol is saving their life. The only reason they're getting the bypass because they can't really get a stent anymore. So they actually have to go in there and get it fixed up. But yeah, when you go in there, cardiologists do see cholesterol, they do see calcium, they do see other things, but it doesn't mean cholesterol is the main issue behind heart disease. Cholesterol is there to actually patch that soft plaque. But what happens is if the person continue eating the same garbage, the same processed foods, so that inflammation of the soft plaque, it keeps growing. And of course, cholesterol and calcium, they keep coming to actually patch it some more. And eventually they experience a heart attack. And when a doctor goes in there as a cardiologist, they go in there and they look and say, hey, you're full of calcification. Well, he's full of calcifications because of the food they've been eating that's actually causing restriction, and the blood flow is not actually flowing freely correctly, and now it's causing inflammation. 56-year-old, how much protein meat should I consume on a daily basis? At least 1 gram per 1 pound of body weight. Recovering alcoholic, had a big beer gut only, lost 35 pounds, but I still can't get abs or flat. How? It's your lifestyle. I can help you with that. I can't just give you all the answers on here because I can sit here for the next hour talking to you. So book a time with me. Let's go over your lifestyle and I can give you some guidance and you can actually follow it and you can get your flat stomach. Keep in mind, 95% of the time is done in the kitchen. Less than 5% is done in the gym, but 95% is in the kitchen. What do you think about Chilojit? If you can afford it, to use it for at least a full year, go for it. If you can't, don't waste your money on it. I'm ready to take on sardines. Any suggestion? Yeah, if you can get them frozen or you can get them, freshly caught, by all means, but don't get them in a can. That would be 435 grams protein for me. Is it still okay? So you'll have to so I should explain a little bit better. Mel, it has to be based on your muscle mass. So let's say you're a big person. Let's say you're at 400 pounds. It doesn't mean you're gonna consume 400 grams. It's based on your muscle mass. So let's say you carry about 40%, let's say, muscle. So you do the calculation. So that's about 40 times 400. So you got about 160 pounds of muscle mass. So let's say, okay, 160 grams of protein daily would be required. So it's based on muscle mass. Why not can? Could have heavy metals other than the can. The can, 99% of the time, your omega-3s are already oxidized in the can. So you're not getting any omega-3s from the sardines. So the only thing is, if you're gonna eat it in a can, all you're getting is just protein. That's it. I like Dr. Nader Ali, LDL, firefighter or arsonist. I'll have to check him. I don't think I've Dr. Nadir Ali. I think maybe I gotta look him up. I gotta look him up. Blaine. What do you know about moose meat? I've had moose meat a couple years ago. It's very gamey, delicious, super lean. Should never really cook it or overcook it. I like to eat it raw, to be honest with you. But if you can get your hands on that, share some. What's ankle swelling, calf pain out without injury? It's water retention. Mostly it's from your kidney, or you're probably overhydrating with water without any minerals. Best way to remove inflammation from the body? Well, there's different factors of inflammation. The problem is we all have inflammation, and instead of actually looking at the root cause of the inflammation, we end up taking supplements. Well, why don't we actually dig in and look at the root cause? The root cause could be the food you're consuming. So before you actually want to add supplements, look at the food that you're eating. Hey Maurice, it looks like you're getting the same weather as us. Haven't seen the sun in weeks. We had the sun today for exactly 30 minutes. And as you can see now, it's like pitch black. It's gonna rain again. Maurice, do you sleep at all? It's a good question. Yesterday actually I had a good like 5 hours sleep. It was nice. I got tired. Seriously, I couldn't even stand on my feet anymore because I'm standing all day. And today I pulled all the flooring because I had them. When I did the flooring, I actually had chips for insulation, and chips were actually getting molded. So I actually was working under the tiny house. I had only like 3 feet, 2.5 feet of clearance, and I was actually exhausted. But now I'm having a hard time standing on my legs. They feel so weak today, and yet I still have to work out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Maybe I should. I'd like to work out. But yeah, if I can get 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night, that's all I want. Duke! But I want to finish so I can enjoy the summer, to be honest with you guys. I want to finish the tiny house. So today, as you guys can see behind me, see all this stuff here? All the chips? I had these as insulation for the basement, for the bottom. So I dropped the whole 4x8 sheets. As you can see, I have lots. I dropped them and all the stuff fell. So 1,200 pounds of wood chips I dropped. So I'm gonna actually fill it up with some insulation. So as you guys can see, there's the insulation. They came in. I have them covered from the rain, 16 bags. And I'm gonna actually do the bottom and do the whole thing tomorrow. I need more hours of sleep. My dog is Duke too. Oh, cheers to that. So this is, and after I did the bottom and the tiny house, I start doing the spray foam. As you can see, I had to kind of close all these little sections on the top so it prevents any birds or flies or anything coming in. So that's all I've been doing today. I did the whole thing. As you guys can see, all the spray foam. So tomorrow I went through like 4 cans, not bad. Tomorrow I'll start doing the installation. I took my wood stove off because I'm gonna actually sell this little thing. Whoever wants to buy it, it's like a small wood stove, and I'm gonna install like a nice big unit. And once I'm done that, I'm ripping the door open of the travel trailer, and I'm ripping the window open, and I'm gonna frame it around it. What country, state do you live in? I'm in Canada. I'm in British Columbia. Question, I want to share with you about B2, B6 balance, unless you are aware of it. No, go ahead and share. I don't know if I'm aware of it or not. What's going on? Hope it's all right, expanding foam. Hope it's airtight. It is airtight. I'm just gonna close in all the edges, that's it. And the rest is gonna be, I got some really good quality, what do you call it? I can't remember the name, wall something to actually insulate it with. So looking forward to that. Is the house only one room? Yeah, this is a tiny house. It's about 19 feet by 12 foot. Then I have the inside the trailer that I actually have it attached. That's where my sleep is, and that's where my kitchen is. So this is gonna be more of a seating area. So if everything goes good, installation goes good, water goes good, everything goes good this winter, then I'm gonna build a small retreat cabin, and the retreat cabin is gonna be right on top of that container, that sea can. So it's gonna be right on top of it. It's gonna have like a, it'll be private. It'll be like 8 feet by 20 feet, private. Anybody comes and visit, they can actually stay there, which is nice. I'll have a toilet, I'll have a shower, have everything. Duke, come in, it's raining. I don't want you to get wet. Come up here, now. So that's the idea, that's the little dream. So we'll see how that goes, because that's the plan. That's the plan. And, as long as I keep focused on it, I'm sure I'll get it done. I found that you need more B2 to have a benefit of the 6. True. I'll have to look into that, Prince. I'll have to kind of do some research. But this is what I've always known over the years. Every time you take any type of vitamin B on a separate Frisian Maurice, I was going to ask, would love to come and fall sometimes for peace. Oh, 100%, 100%. Like that's the idea, is to do a retreat where, people can, if you'd like to come down as well, Cindy, you guys can come down, whether you want to stay here for 5 days, a week, and of course there'll be whatever cost it is, because I want to have, I'm going to cover the food, I'll cover, all that stuff. Part of the retreat, and from there it will be whether it's some educational stuff, meditation, yoga, whether a person wants to go hiking, they want to go fishing. So I'm trying to have all these little things available, so whoever comes here, they can actually have a blast, right? And I'm thinking of actually putting like a chicken coop, so this way we'll have fresh eggs, and maybe have as well some good grass-fed, grass-finished beef as well. So that's the plan, and I hope my plan goes good. It's just, I hope I stay busy with my patients, like you guys, because that's the only way I can make it. Every time I make money and stuff, I kind of put it against to kind of finish the landscaping, and of course, keep bears away. Don't worry about the bear spray. We have Duke here. We have Duke, and I'm sure he's gonna support us. Duke, come inside, bud. It's raining. Don't get wet. Duke, I started kelp iodine and noticed a dramatic increase in energy and amazing sleep quality. Well, we're all actually deficient in iodine, just to let you know, John. At least good. So iodine, think of iodine as, how we have about 88% of the populations that are deficient in magnesium. Well, iodine is almost like 90% people are deficient in iodine. Once you actually fix that, keep in mind, your thyroid controls your energy levels, your calmness, your cholesterol, your calcium. So it covers all that. So automatically you're going to feel a huge difference. Yeah, no, nothing to be afraid here. There's no bears. Even thought there's bears and coyotes. It's very safe. To be honest with you, if I didn't have Duke, let's say, if I was just by myself here, I don't think I will ever put a fence like that, temporary fence. The only reason I put the temporary fence is for Duke, to keep Duke safe from actually going after animals. Because if he does go after animals like he did last year, and it took me almost like more than an hour and a bit to actually find them, it was very stressful, and I don't want him to actually. So I put that huge investment. That, to be honest with you, with that same investment, I could have probably finished the tiny, the small retreat, but that investment had to go into the temporary fencing, so I can protect him at least, till he's a little bit more alert, and he doesn't kind of go after any animal he sees. So he's very important to me, and I had to actually put that investment. I'm actually still paying for it till now, but at least I know he's safe. The reason for high vitamin B12, probably the only reason that's high in your system, is because something's happening in your intestine. Dogs are family. Oh, 100%, 100%. Especially when you have a little pup like Duke. When I got him, he was 6 weeks old. It's just, that's it. He gets so attached. I got so freaking attached. Sometimes, you know, I don't go places without taking them with me. Oh, 100%. Is GERD a vitamin deficiency? GERD is, it's not whether it's a vitamin deficiency, it's lack of acidity in the gut. And sometimes you have to practice food combining to actually fix it. Because one of the problem is with GERD or acid reflux sometimes is we mix everything in our body. Like we mix protein where it needs high proteins, then we mix, you know, carbohydrates where it needs high amylase. So there's acidity and alkaline is being mixed, so that actually neutralizes your acidity level, and that's why we end up having GERD. Do you have an ebook for heart calcification and healing it? I am finishing one. I'm actually putting one together, very, very crucial. I have one about atherosclerosis and how to fix atherosclerosis and a specific list of vitamins you can take. In fact, leaving mine to go away is hard, but I need it. Oh, 100%. Guess don't drink pop. Gets don't drink pop. Gets don't drink pop. Should you take vitamin K when taking B12? If so, how much, please? Can you please explain that? GERD, no pops. Oh, yeah, anything acidity, anything, you know, bubbles, carbonated shouldn't be with GERD. By the way, I got the email today. Thank you. Steve, that's awesome. I'm glad you got it. Let me know if you have any questions. Definitely, I'll guide you through the process as well. Hopefully everything is going well with you, and hopefully the build is going all right. Sorry, spell check. Duke? He sees him again. There you go. He goes. So my neighbor got chickens, and sometimes he lets them out, and Duke gets interested. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens when I get our chickens here. I'm only gonna get like maybe 5 to kind of get started to see how it's like. But I have to build a chicken coop. That's my next project. So I might get one of my friend actually. I met him here last year. I talked to him yesterday. So if he's gonna come out and maybe do the installation, maybe I'll spend some time building the chicken coop. Seems TikTok is blocking some questions. Yeah, they do block a lot of questions, guys. This has been going on for a few weeks now. Dude, come up here. Come on, my back is hurting, bud. I need to sit. I have B12 injection every 10 weeks, but been told I should take vitamin K with it for it to work. What form of vitamin K? You're probably talking about, oh, the phone is getting wet. You're talking about regular vitamin K, not your vitamin K2. You're probably talking about to actually keep your blood thin. Is that what's going on, just so it does not cause any issues? It depends. Why are you doing the vitamin B12 injection? Probably you wouldn't need it. The only reason you're not probably getting enough vitamin B because your intestines are not working good. Are you very low in vitamin B12? Duke! Yeah, they're shooting at the coyote. I don't know if you guys heard it. Come here, bud. Duke! Come, it's wet. Hi, can you tell me how to increase your caloric levels in blood? Person is your caloric, you're talking about your chloride, right? If you're talking about your chloride, that's your salt. Increasing your salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic sea salt, taking trace minerals. Hashimoto and Epstein virus, any tips? Hashimoto is mostly your underactive thyroid that's actually causing it. But yeah, I did have some information on that. Celine, send me a message. I can tell you about it, because if I talk about certain things, I can get blocked. Most meds deplete vitamin B12. Duke, come up here. He's getting wet. But Blaine, I'm gonna check on Dr. Nadir Ali. I just took a picture of the phone. I'm gonna actually look him up. Does he talk mostly about cardiologist? Is he a cardiologist? Duke, it's okay. Come here. No, I know. All good. Yeah, my neighbor is actually playing with. He has with his kid there. Sometimes he trains them for hunting and stuff. It's pretty awesome. It's not a coyote actually. They have a target, so they actually practice on the target, which is nice. Which ebooks do you have on heart health? If you go to my website, I have one on atherosclerosis, one on cholesterol. So it's actually pretty good. But yeah, the atherosclerosis one would be good. The one I'm writing a big one. It's already I'm at 100 pages for heart health, but the one but the one that I'm actually writing for the heart, like overall everything about the heart, I'm actually putting all the blood work into it. So every blood work, for example, so every, let's say, so every, for example, if you do like a blood test and let's say your LDL is high, I'll teach you how to lower LDL. If like say your lipoprotein is high, I'll teach you how to lower lipoprotein. So based on food intake, and that's why it's kind of taken me a long time to finish it, because I picked all the factors that actually conflict with the heart, with the arteries, with the flow. And what I've done is I've taken every category, and if that person has it, how they can actually lower it. And that's how I'm actually doing it. So for example, if you have, let's say, LPPLA2 being high, that's a soft inflammation, soft plaque inflammation, what to do to actually lower it and how you can actually lower it with supplement or food. And that's what I'm actually putting in that book. What do you eat for breakfast? I don't eat breakfast. I drink coffee in the morning. That's usually what I have. So I'll have my coffee in the morning with MCT. My first meal is usually about noon and go from there. It's not bad to fast. No, it's not bad to fast at all. Why does keto stop working the second time around? What do you mean by that, stop working? I'm gonna take one more question, guys, because I do have to go to my neighbor for a minute there, see what's going on. Why does keto stop working the second time around? I don't know what you mean by that. And what do you mean by stop working? Please explain your question. I'll take that one as last question. Not getting the same result as in, like, say, weight loss. You gotta go. Oh, you're concerned. Thank you always. Thanks so much, Angel, as always. Definitely, I'll come back, guys. We'll definitely come back again tomorrow. We can actually do live again. I'll be here again tomorrow. Thanks so much for the gift, for the flower. Like usual, I know I'll be a little bit exhausted from doing a lot of the installation, but I'm sure I'll have some time and we'll spend at least a good hour and a half with you guys, a little bit longer. But in the meantime, you guys take care and have a nice evening.